How to do, ladies and germs. Ba-dum-bum. Anyway, today being the second part of the quick breads lesson, I'm going to show you how to make blueberry muffins since you may or may not have the same stuff at home. I remember back in the early 2000s, there was a bake shop in downtown Springfield. They had absolutely the best blueberry muffins. So I dug through my recipe books. Um, this isn't really a cookbook, it's a recipe book. Anyway, and I remembered that I had a copy of this. So lo and behold, let's see, can you see that? Yeah, no, yes, no, yeah, oh, look, yeah, there you go. Look, it's Waves of Grain Artisan Breads. Huh, what do you think? Yes, that was Chef Phil Dreshfield's bake shop in downtown Springfield. And everybody came for the, ready for it, blueberry muffins. Yay! So we're going to make those today live. Right here. Well, not live, but I'm making it live. You guys are stuck with the video. Okay? I wanted to show everybody my mise en place, but I'll put a still up later. What I've done for the blueberry muffin recipe out of this particular batch is I've cut it in half from my normal batch because I don't need to make 36 blueberry muffins. Oh, by the way, speaking of blueberry muffins, I don't even have a muffin tin. No cupcakes, no muffins. So, what do? I improvise. I'm going to make a blueberry, ready for it. I'm going to make blueberry, ready for it. I'm going to make blueberry bread. All right. So, we're going to start with the normal ingredients because it is a batter method. We're going to do dry ingredients in one bowl, wet ingredients in another bowl. So I've got 2 containers of flour. Oh, you don't even see me, do you? All right, well, let's start off with 1, 2, notice how, uh, yeah, a little bit, yeah, that didn't quite work. Let's see what else I got here. 2, call that 3, trying not to make a mess, so 4. All right. Start off with 4 cups of flour. Get the hell out of my way. All right. We got 4 cups of flour in the bowl. We're going to add a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So, see, it doesn't take much. And so if you even have to take this out of your refrigerator, take it out of your refrigerator. That's what I did. Look, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You're going to need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Oh, that's not baking powder. This is baking powder. What did I say? 2, count them, 2. I level them. 1, 2 tablespoons of baking powder. All right, what else? I need 1.5 cups of sugar. All right, we can do this. I've got my mise en place. I got my stuff all taken care of. I got a cup. See? Cup. And a half. Look. Half a cup. So far, so good. What do I need? Salt. Of course you have to have salt. All right, so what do I need? How much salt? I need a teaspoon of salt. All right, today instead of using the pink, I'm using Mediterranean sea salt. Just saying, because I told you I'm a salt snob. All right, oops, a little bit extra salt, but not that much. All righty then. Okay, trying to keep my space organized. I could just take my whisk. Now Now I got my dry ingredients down. I'm going to set them over here. Well, I'll just set them up there and get them out of the way. All right, time to work on wet ingredients. I got to start off with 2 cups of buttermilk. Pause. There's no buttermilk. What do? Remember your last thing? It's, this is out of necessity. We're calling buttermilk soured milk. Soured milk, see March 16th. We're going to start with that. Ooh, tasty. All right. So we got a cup of souring milk, but I need 2 cups. So I still have some good milk in the refrigerator. Soon to become soured. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. All right, so let's get our second cup, and the first cup was a little shy, so we're just going to, oops, there we go. That looks good to me. See, I like cooking this way. You don't even see me. Okay, so what do we need? We need, when we make buttermilk, we're going to add acid. So I've got some old lemons. Okay, so I'm just going to squeeze. Okay, I decided to use my grater to make sure I didn't get any seeds in this time. There we go. Awesomeness. Buttermilk. Sort of. Make it sour, baby. Make it sour. All right. So seriously, if you do have milk that's souring, don't throw it out. You can always bake with it. You don't have to put it in your coffee, but you don't have to bake with it. All right. So to this, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of oil. Okay. I prefer canola oil, but I have a little bit of this vegetable oil left, and I'm going to get rid of it first, simply because, well, I've got a brand new oil over here, and oh, yes, untouched by human hands. Oh, it's got an extra seal on it and everything, which I didn't anticipate, but look, I'm clever enough. So we need 3/4. 3/4. About like that. There's our added fat. Doesn't that look good? Fat's where it's at, baby. Fat's where it's at. All right, so we've gotten rid of the fat. We've added milk. Let's see what else we need. I need 2 eggs. 2 eggs. All right, 1, 2. And give them a little bit of a whisk before you mix them in. And I always break your eggs in a separate bowl. You don't want to ruin all your ingredients. Good enough. In it goes. All right. All right, we got that going on. All right, what else do I need? Oh, we got to have some vanilla. Vanilla. It actually calls for 2 teaspoons. We'll give it 1 teaspoon simply because I'm running out of vanilla. But such is life. Now, I always finish it up. This is what made my my blueberry muffins at Waves of Grain a little bit different. I would always add lemon zest, okay? So I've got a fresh lemon. I use the old lemon for the juice. And for this type of recipe, which I'll print out for y'all, I would use about half a lemon. You don't want to overpower the blueberries. Blueberries are just coming into season. So, ooh, yeah, it smells good. And it gives it a nice, fresh bite, without overpowering it. Okay, so we got that in there. Save your lemon, of course, because later on I'm going to have fish Florentine, actually flounder Florentine. All right, what do I got? I've got my wet ingredients, so we're going to whisk those together. Oh, it smells good. I can smell the lemon and the vanilla. All right. So I got my wet ingredients and my dry ingredients. What do you do next? Well, I do have a hand mixer. I guess I'm cheating. You know, it's fine for muffin batters. I wouldn't recommend it ever for breads. You'll blow out your mixer. Just saying. But for a hand mixer to mix these type of ingredients, looks good to me. So I've got my beaters in. We're going to turn it on low and slowly mix my wet into my dry. Now, you don't want to overwork the batter. You don't want to develop the gluten. The ideal consistency, it should look like a frozen yogurt. Okay? Looking good. Looking good. I want to make sure all the flour is incorporated, but I don't want to over whip it. I got to get down to the bottom of the bowl. Look at that. Bottom of the bowl. Doesn't that look fabulous? And it melded too. All right, off we go. There. Stunning, don't you think? All right. Last but not least, fresh blueberries. I'm using a U.S. dry pint, 11 ounces by weight for this recipe, okay? Now, you want to fold, I've already rinsed them, of course, but you have to kind of fold these in by hand because you don't want them to bruise and you don't want them to burst unless they get into the oven. All right, one of the things I forgot to tell you to do was turn on the oven. Preheat the oven to 350. There. Now, I got to fold these together. Well, use a spatula. Or if you don't have a spatula, use a big spoon. But look at this. Oh my goodness. Now, what I like about this recipe, in addition to having the lemon zest incorporated in it, but there's just the right amount of blueberries. You know, some people make their blueberry muffins and they're all batter, or they're just the opposite. It's all blueberry. And these just are a nice. Ooh, baby, those are nice. All right. Save this for later. All right. Waste not, want not. You know what I mean? Catch my drift? All right. I'll show you what we're doing next in just a sec.